really close with Mr. Frauenbach. Like, greatest guy I've ever met in my life. Nicest guy I've ever met in my life. I'm sure he'll like this.
What does it mean to you to be an Avon Eagle?
I would say it's built around brotherhood. I moved here my freshman year, and I wasn't really sure what to think of it, but they brought me in and like showed me what it means to actually like be a team and like have brothers having your back. Like, I've never seen anything like it anywhere. Like, where I used to live, like, I had my friends, but it wasn't like a tight-knit group like what we are, like, and what I've had since freshman year.
How would you describe it to an outsider?
Say you're to look at it like an NFL team, and seeing like how everybody's on the same page, like looking at an NFL's defense, everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to know their assignment, know everything that's going on, and like have each other's back. Like, it's pretty similar to us. Like, everybody has their back. Everybody knows their assignment. We all know what we're doing at all times. Like, there's never a moment when we're confused or like we're worried that our teammate's not going to have our back. Like, we always know there's going to be someone there to have our back.
And the things that you guys do, the Dirty Dozens, get up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. to lift, how much does that separate you from other teams?
Even in the off season, when we had to wake up at 5 a.m. every single Monday, got pretty annoying. I knew it was for good purpose, and like I knew it was just going to build relationships even more, because it's not like just one of us had to wake up at 5 a.m. We all had to wake up at 5 a.m. It just showed us that as long as we stay together and as long as we work hard together, then it'll show itself on the field this year.
How much of all those things that you've experienced over all these years changed you as a person?
I've become a lot more mature. Definitely freshman year, I definitely had to mature. That freshman going into sophomore year, because I started every single game as a sophomore, and definitely a big stepping stone from going from freshman JV straight to varsity. So I definitely had to mature from then. But like, compared to now, like, I understand the game. I know how to be a coach as well to the younger kids, and if they're messing up on something, then I can show them like what they're doing wrong and how to help them, just like so everybody can be ready at all times.
You're a standout athlete and have a Division I offer in another sport, yet you're one of the top players on the football team here. How do you do that?
It's a lot of balancing.
But again, how do you excel? You're one of the top players in both sports in the school. How do you do that?
I mean, just hard work, honestly. Like, you just have to put in extra time compared to everybody else. Like, when everybody else wants to just not do anything, you have to do extra work, because you may be like the same level of talent, but if you do a couple more reps or you stay longer and lift for a little bit longer, then you just be one step ahead of everybody else.
As a captain, do you feel more pressure as being a leader?
No, I feel like I've been around it enough to realize that, like, to step into this role, it's a big deal, but I feel like I'll be able to take the younger kids and show them the way, like the older kids used to do with me, and show them the way how it's supposed to be, so that this program still stays at the top once I leave. Oh, I mean, I've heard people talking about it for like, ever since I got here. They're like, our class is like, I don't want to like set like high standards for us, but like, people have been talking about our class for a while, and I came into our grade, and like, it was automatically, I just like came a part of it. It's not like I was just like sitting on the outside looking in. Like, I was they automatically made me like a part of like the brothership. So, which is amazing for me moving in freshman year, and I mean, I loved every single moment of it.
And your senior year in a perfect note, how would that be?
State championship and beating Hoban. Either way, even if it's, we'll probably play them in the Final Four again if that happens, but to beat them and to win a state championship, win the last one.
How realistic is that?
Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but with the team that we have and the experience that we have, I like to say there's a good shot.
Little kids in the stands watching number 23 run around, hitting people, scoring touchdowns and everything. If they came up to you after the game, what kind of advice would you give to them, make them want to play for the Avon Eagles?
Just stay the course. Just keep working hard, like no matter how hard it gets, because we've all been in the situation where we've wanted to quit and just stop. But like, no matter how hard it gets, just keep on working and keep on playing, because one day you'll be on the field and you'll be extremely happy that you stayed the course, and being able to be with your teammates on a Friday night, there's nothing else like it.
And this team in general, not just your class, but the younger classes, you guys have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
How scary is it if you're on the other defense and you were looking at this Avon offense? What would you feel like?
I mean, personally, I would be like, oh, whatever, I don't fear anything. Like, I'll just go hit these dudes. But, yeah, it's pretty scary. Having JC coming out there and being able to run over somebody and being able to juke somebody at the same time is just something you don't really see. So I would be scared of that. And our O-line is pretty big as well. And having Sam being able to throw dimes to Ethan Holbrook, I mean, I would be.
What about the rest of the receiving corps?
Oh, Drew, D-Burn. I mean, we got some speedy guys. We'll be able to throw it over top whenever we want, because that's how they can beat anybody with speed. Being able to have the receivers that we have and have our running backs, I mean, it's very, very nice to have good receivers and good running backs.
He's just like a 1980s throwback football player. He's just the kind of kid you want on your team. He's a great football player. You look at him and he's got a football body. He's got the work ethic of a kid from a different era. Like, he just always is working hard. First time I met him, he was a freshman. And he was in the weight room as a freshman, and he was just getting after it with the varsity team. He just has always kind of gravitated to the older guys, to the leadership, and you put him in the game and you can trust him, and he's going to do the right things all the time.
Wasn't he just like this huge kid as a freshman?
Yeah, he was well developed as a freshman, so we maybe put a little bit more on him than we should have because of his size and such, but he was willing to learn and he wanted to be part of it, and it was just one of those things that he's always been around it.
And he's not just excelling on one side of the ball, he's doing it on both. How does he do that?
He excels at everything he does, and I think it's just his focus, his work ethic and everything that he does. He's got great football instinct, which is sometimes not teachable to kids. They just understand the game, understand the nuance of the game, the angles, and he has that. And then he's got strength and speed on top of it. So you add those three things together with his understanding of the game, plus his size, his speed, his strength, and he just makes for a great football player.
How dangerous is he? As big and strong as he is, he can run over someone, but then he can outrun someone too.
Yeah. He's incredibly dangerous. He's got a lot of tools in his toolbox, which as a running back, as a linebacker, it really helps you. He can put a move on a kid one time, and the next time he can run him right over, and the kid's not expecting it. He's got a great stiff arm. He's got a great jump cut. So, I mean, he's just got so many tools that it really makes him hard to defend.
How about being around this program all this time and growing, and now he's become a leader and a captain? And what does that say about just how much everyone looks up to him?
I mean, I think it's tremendous, and I really think that's what kind of sets him apart, is that quiet leadership. He's not a rah-rah guy so much. He's not out there screaming and yelling at the front of the huddle. But when he goes to work, kids notice and they go to work with him. And so I think as he's grown through the program and he's developed that leadership skills, kids have gravitated to seeing how he does things and continues to do those things well for us.
And people don't notice, this is his second sport.
Correct.
How crazy is that?
It's crazy. Gavin Earhart could play football in college if he wanted to. I mean, he would be a very, very good college football player. He loves baseball, and we get that. We're just glad he loves high school football. So it's crazy. I mean, the kid is an all-around athlete. That's why he's kind of a throwback era. Like, you don't see that as much anymore as kids that excel in 2 or 3 sports, and he's that kid, and he's just great at everything he does.
Gavin would be the #1 running back on almost every team in the state. He just happens to be on a team with Jacorian Caffey, and Jacorian's a special Power 5 type running back. But Gavin's going to play running back because he's that good. We have 2 backs that I think are better than anybody's in the entire area. And then he's also the heart of our defense as an inside linebacker. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, he's physical, and he loves contact and loves the game of football. So Gavin Earhart is certainly a leader of our team, and if we're going to get where we want to be defensively, he has to become the leader of that group.
And he doesn't just play well at both sides, he excels at both sides. How does he do that?
Well, he's an athlete. I mean, he's committed to play baseball at the University of Cincinnati. Most people don't realize is if he chose to play football, he would also be a scholarship level player there. I mean, he's just born and genetically hit the lottery when it comes to athletic ability for his size and his strength. He runs exceptionally well. He's a physical kid who's really developed in the weight room. So Cincinnati's got themselves a great kid and a great baseball player. But if he chose to, he would also be a great football player at the collegiate level. But he chose to play baseball.
And even though he's a leader and a captain of the team, he seems like just a fun kid to be around and to look up to.
Gavin Earhart is a kid that, the players around him, he's always got a smile on his face. I think he brings a positive energy. One of our core values is to have contagious positive energy, and he has that. If you're around him, you're in the huddle, things are going well, things aren't going well, it doesn't matter. He's got a smile on his face, and he's loving what he's doing and who he's doing it with.
Flavor ice cream. Superman flavored.
Why?
I don't know. As a kid, I always thought it wasn't just vanilla, and it wasn't just like food dye or like whatever it is. I just thought it was like a bunch of different flavors, so I thought it was like super cool. So I mean, I'd want to be that. I don't know.
If you were a pizza, what toppings would be on you?
Let's go with pepperoni, bacon, and pepperoni and bacon. I like that.
If they made a movie about Gavin Earhart, who would star as you?
Ooh, man. Will Ferrell, just my favorite actor. Curly hair, a little bit of goofball.
I was gonna say, you a goofball?
Yeah, I'm a goofball a little bit. Like to goof around a little bit.
Last week, the lottery got up to $1 billion. If you ever won that, what would be like your first purchase or your first 10 purchases?
My first purchase would be buy my parents a house and pay off all their debts and everything like that because they provide for me, so I'm going to provide back to them. And then after that, I would probably get like a house in Arizona, like in the mountains or something, like Sedona. It's my favorite place. I mean, just away from everybody and just in the mountains. Nothing more you can ask for a house.
What would you want to do there?
What I want to do? Whatever you do in Arizona, just hike, basically. I mean, that's all you really do. Just enjoy the view all day. Sit on my back porch, just watch the view. Get an infinity pool over the mountain. That'd be nice.
You keep adding to it. Anything else? The infinity pool's a nice touch.
Infinity pool would be a nice touch. Couple nice cars, I would say. Cruise. Definitely get a G-Wagon. G-Wagon or like a Lambo. G-Wagon Lambo. That's for sure.
Inviting any friends out to this cabin? Or?
I mean, maybe. Possibly. Maybe, I don't know. Like to be by myself.
Oh.
Until I get lonely, then I'll invite some friends over.
I didn't know you were such a lone wolf.
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't know. Wouldn't want people taking away from what I got, I guess.
Gotcha. What's something you want to be remembered by?
The big kid with the cowboy collar. No, I'm just kidding. By just leading by example, like if one of the younger kids like sees me like running off the field or doing something that we're supposed to be doing, then they'll start doing that. So then it'll create a culture to where it's basically once one person sees it, then everybody else starts doing it. So then it'll just create like a better environment for the team.